the review panel think that it was not necessary for the select committee to flag these off as draconian, especially when it comes to an individual's right to privacy?
I think it's very unfortunate that they are wading into a controversy and an issue on which there is already a lot of matters pending in the Honorable Supreme Court. And in the criminal matters, so far the courts have taken a view, the constitutional courts, that the privacy is definitely important and supreme. And as far as the income tax investigation is concerned, there is nothing called emergency for which these kind of draconian measures are required. Breaking somebody's password and, if he is not sharing, then trying to break into his account, which can simply wipe out the entire data, entire information. So something, the brute majority of the select committee, which typically has a particular party or a combination in majority, they are trying to push it through the SOP on electronic devices. This matter is still pending before Honorable Supreme Court, and they have asked the government multiple times to come with a standard operating procedure. So I think this is all is already pending, and there is no point pushing it and making people really unhappy about these kind of issues. People in any case are not very happy because the inflation is high, the economic conditions are not good, so tax incidence is not coming down. It's government.
And you perhaps feel that this is an Orwellian measure that lacks judicial oversight. But Mr. Agarwal, what legal protections should be kept in place to prevent misuse or abuse of powers? Because when we talk about the DPDP Act, there is that kind of provision that's given that an officer will be present, and of course his intervention will be needed whenever required and not in every instance.
First of all, the DPDP Act has not been notified. So it is theoretically present. It is currently only the Article 21 protection offered by Honorable Supreme Court in the Puttaswamy judgment that the privacy is a fundamental right. And more so, even in the criminal cases, so far the courts have been telling the authorities that don't invade the privacy, do not ask for the passwords and return the devices. Because there is a lot of personal information available on these devices. It is not only about tax or transactions. So under no circumstances, the income tax authorities will be granted these powers. Even if the bill is passed in the parliament, I'm sure as soon as it is passed, it will come under the scrutiny of the constitutional courts.
Right.
And it will not pass the muster. And of course, the people at large, once they get into this debate, in the parliament, the debate progresses and the matter comes to the realm of the public, they will definitely be up in arms and they will not like it. So I think, and this is not at all required. There are so many ways by which the income tax authorities can figure out what the information is all about as far as the taxpayers are concerned.
Absolutely.
I think this is not required.
Mr. Mali, but that is not the route that us normal citizens would want to take. But Mr. Agarwal, let me also ask you about the fact that who is to ensure that such powers will not be used for mass surveillance or political targeting under the guise of tax investigation, because that remains the biggest question as of now with respect to this bill.
This fear is very much a possibility, and we have seen earlier also the misuse of surveillance or so-called investigation in Radia and many other matters which are very well known. Even recently in Telangana, the politicians were under surveillance in the guise of the law enforcement. So such kind of blatant powers given to lowly officers, whether it is income tax or any other authority, are very much prone to misuse. And as far as helpless citizens are concerned, they will even not come to know what is happening. So these kind of powers, once they are given, they are most likely to be misused. And hence, it is very, very important that at least the legislators, when they are in the parliament, when they are making the laws, they must create enough checks and balances. So it must be exercised through the judicial intervention, and at the very high level, approval is required. For example, the approval at the chief commissioner should be required. If in a particular case, it is important to break the passwords or get inroads into some kind of a technical data. So let there be an internal process by which a very senior level official through a committee approve it. And there has to be a proper justification given by the officers who are doing the investigation and why it is needed. So at least the citizens can be assured that they are being not harassed for at the drop of a hat, but there is a process in the government. So I think that it is very much required that there should not be a blatant power to the low-level officers, not at all accepted, not at all required. And if at all required, then let's have it at a very senior level with the judicial oversight, it will be better.